The numbers don't lie, and they're about to shake up everything you thought you knew about faith in America. While coastal cities dominate headlines, there's a different kind of power brewing in places most people overlook. These aren't random surveys or guesswork. This is hard data from the American Bible Society in partnership with the Barna Group, tracking Bible reading habits, scriptural engagement, and how deeply faith shapes daily life across American cities. What they found reveals a landscape that defies every stereotype about modern Christianity. The top 10 cities aren't where most people would expect, and the patterns emerging tell a story that changes everything. Coming in at number 10 is the Greenville, Spartanburg, and Asheville metro area, straddling the South Carolina and North Carolina border. This Tri-City region isn't just scenic mountain country, it's a faith fortress. According to ABS data, this area consistently ranks among the most biblically engaged communities in the nation. The research shows residents here don't just own Bibles, they actually read them. Weekly Bible reading rates here outpace the national average by significant margins. Churches dot the landscape like coffee shops in Seattle. Except people actually show up multiple times a week. The Barna Group's metrics track both Bible reading frequency and belief in scriptural authority, and this region scores high on both counts. What makes this placement interesting is the demographic mix. Asheville skews younger and more progressive, yet the overall metro area maintains strong biblical engagement. It's proof that faith commitment isn't just about politics or age, it's about culture and community. Knoxville, Tennessee slides into the 9th spot, and here's where things get interesting. This isn't some tiny rural town, this is a metro area of nearly 1 million people. The University of Tennessee calls this place home, bringing thousands of college students who could easily tank those Bible reading numbers. But they don't. The ABS research reveals that Knoxville maintains remarkably high scriptural engagement across age groups. Over 40% of residents report reading the Bible outside of church services, a figure that would make most American cities jealous. The Barna Group data shows belief in biblical authority here isn't just theoretical. People actually shape their lives around scriptural principles. Churches aren't struggling to fill pews, they're expanding parking lots. Ministry programs aren't begging for volunteers, they have waiting lists. This is what happens when faith becomes woven into the social fabric rather than treated like a Sunday accessory. Little Rock and Pine Bluff, Arkansas claimed the 8th position, and the stats backing this up are wild. The American Bible Society's research shows this region has one of the highest rates of daily Bible readers in the country. Not weekly, daily. We're talking about people who treat scripture reading like brushing their teeth. It's just part of the routine. The Barna Group's data reveals something even more fascinating. Biblical literacy here outpaces Bible ownership rates in other parts of America. Translation? These folks actually know what's in the book. They can quote chapter and verse, not because they're showing off, but because they've been studying. Church attendance rates hover around 47%, nearly double the national average. Small group Bible studies aren't niche activities, they're mainstream social gatherings. This is the Bible Belt, and it's wearing that label like a badge of honor. Springfield, Missouri rolls in at number 7, and this placement makes perfect sense when you look at the data. The ABS partnership with Barna reveals Springfield has one of the highest concentrations of evangelical Christians per capita in America. But it's not just about denominational affiliation, it's about engagement. Bible college enrollment here is off the charts. Multiple Christian universities and seminaries call Springfield home, creating an ecosystem where biblical scholarship isn't just encouraged, it's celebrated. The research shows over 48% of residents read the Bible at least once weekly outside church settings. That's not counting Sunday services or small groups. That's personal, private devotional time. Churches here aren't just buildings, they're community centers, counseling hubs, and educational institutions rolled into one. The Barna metrics on scriptural application in daily life show Springfield residents don't compartmentalize faith, they integrate it into business decisions, parenting styles, and civic engagement. Charlotte, North Carolina takes the 6th spot, and this one raises eyebrows. This is a major banking hub, a rapidly growing metro area with over 2.6 million people. Cities this size typically see biblical engagement plummet, not here. The American Bible Society data shows Charlotte defying urban trends. Despite explosive population growth and increasing diversity, biblical engagement rates remain stubbornly high. The Barna Group research reveals something crucial. Charlotte's church culture isn't stuck in the past. Megachurches with modern worship and tech-savvy presentations coexist with traditional denominations. Young professionals flooding the city for jobs at Bank of America and other corporations find thriving faith communities ready to welcome them. Bible reading rates among millennials in Charlotte exceed national millennial averages by substantial margins. This is what happens when churches adapt methods without compromising message. The result? a major American city where faith isn't fading, it's flourishing. Shreveport of Louisiana claims fifth place, and the numbers here tell a compelling story. The ABS research shows Shreveport maintains extraordinary biblical consistency across generations. Grandparents, parents, and children all report similar engagement levels with Scripture. That's rare. Most American cities show massive generational drop-off in faith practices. Not Shreveport. The Barna data reveals over 54% of residents consider the Bible completely accurate in all it teaches. That's not just Bible-friendly, that's Bible-convinced. Churches here aren't entertainment venues trying to trick people into showing up. They're teaching centers focused on systematic scripture study. Sunday school isn't for kids only. Adults pack classes dissecting books of the Bible verse by verse. The culture here treats biblical illiteracy like a problem to solve rather than a status quo to accept. The Tri-Cities region of Johnson City, Kingsport, and Bristol, spanning Tennessee and Virginia, takes fourth place. This area might not ring bells nationally, but in biblical engagement circles, it's legendary. The American Bible Society data shows this region has some of the highest per capita church attendance in America. We're talking 52% weekly attendance rates. The Barna research reveals something even more striking. Scriptural engagement here isn't demographically siloed. It's not just old people or rural folks. Young families, college students, and working professionals all show remarkably similar Bible reading patterns. This region proves size doesn't matter, commitment does. Churches collaborate rather than compete, creating unified community outreach programs and coordinated Bible teaching initiatives. The result is a regional faith culture that's less about individual congregations and more about collective kingdom focus. Roanoke and Lynchburg, Virginia secure the third position, and Lynchburg's presence here is no accident. Liberty University, one of the largest Christian universities in the world, anchors this region. But the ABS data shows the biblical engagement extends far beyond campus boundaries. The entire metro area demonstrates extraordinary scriptural literacy. The Barna Group research reveals Lynchburg has the highest concentration of Bible study group participation in the nation. Over 41% of residents report involvement in regular small group scripture study. That's not counting church services. That's additional, voluntary, intensive Bible engagement. Churches here run like well-oiled machines, with robust discipleship pipelines moving people from casual attendance to deep biblical knowledge. The culture treats spiritual growth like career development, something requiring intentional effort and measurable progress. Birmingham, Anniston, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama take the second spot, and the research backing this placement is remarkable. The American Bible Society data shows this Alabama corridor maintains biblical engagement rates that make other regions look anemic. Over 51% of residents report weekly Bible reading outside church context. The Barna metrics reveal belief in biblical authority. Here approaches 60%, meaning 3 out of 5 people view Scripture as the ultimate truth source for life decisions. This isn't casual faith, this is conviction. Churches here aren't struggling with attendance decline or budget shortfalls. They're planting new congregations and expanding ministry programs. The University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa brings tens of thousands of college students who could dilute these numbers. But campus ministry culture is so robust that students often increase their biblical engagement during college rather than decrease it. Chattanooga, Tennessee claims the top spot as America's most Bible-minded city, and the data supporting this is overwhelming. The American Bible Society research shows Chattanooga leads the nation in combined metrics of Bible reading frequency, scripture memorization, and biblical worldview application. Over 52% of residents read the Bible weekly outside religious services. The Barna Group data reveals something even more impressive. Belief in biblical accuracy and authority here reaches 62%. This means nearly 2/3 of the metro area views the Bible as God's authoritative word for life. Church attendance rates hover around 54%, and small group participation exceeds 43%. These aren't isolated statistics, they're interconnected indicators of a city where faith isn't cultural decoration, it's cultural foundation. Chattanooga's transformation from struggling industrial city to thriving modern metro happened alongside, not despite, its biblical commitment. Churches here invest heavily in community development, running food banks, job training programs, and addiction recovery ministries. The result is faith that doesn't just talk, it acts. But here's what the American Bible Society and Barna Group research really reveals, and it's something most analysis completely misses. These cities aren't just reading the Bible more than other places, they're creating something other American metros are losing: communities where shared values transcend politics, economics, and demographics. While coastal cities fracture into isolated tribes, these Bible-minded regions maintain social cohesion that most experts thought was extinct. The question isn't whether these cities will maintain their biblical engagement. The question is whether the rest of America will notice what's actually working before it's too late to learn from it.